Recording in progress.
Okay, it's pop up now. You have time until 13:37. 13:37 ya.
Iya, ini yang di slideshow kan?
Ya. Ini belum on cam ya aku.
Di on kamera.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let me introduce myself. My name is Aura Isma Amisa. I'm from Fisheries Resort Utilization Study Program Pancasakti University Tegal. Thank you for the opportunity given to speak at this international seminar. On this occasion, I will discuss about effect of full type on protein content of smoked stingray, a study on the use of coconut shell, coconut fiber, and their combination in Misnok MSMA Suradadi. Introduction. The diversity of biological resources owned by Indonesia is very diverse, including animal protein source, especially fish. Indonesia also has a diversity of fish species, including marine fish, freshwater fish, and brackish fish. Fish a high protein absorption compared to beef and chicken. Program formulation, fish a food item that is susceptible to spoilage because it provides a favorable environment from the growth of decomposing microorganisms that can reduce quality. Therefore, processing is required to inhibit spoilage microorganisms. Processing to maintain fish quality requires prevention such as salting, drying, and smoking. Research objectives. This one, effect of smoking using coconut shell full, coconut fiber, and a combination of both on stingray protein. 2. The highest protein contents from the use of coconut shell full, coconut fiber, and a combination of both in stingray smoking. Research material and methods. The material used is in this research is smoked stingray fish that has controlled the smoking process and Misnox fish MSMA Suradadi. Equipment from the protein contents test include measuring cup, Gildal distillation, Kejidal Fox, Barrett Pipette, and Erlen Mayer. According to Sigiono 2019, the experimental method is an approach that is carried out experimentally and is in quantitative research with the aim of identifying the effect of independent variable or treatment on dependent variable or result under controlled condition. Data analysis, this one, classical assumption test. The classical assumption test include data normality test and variant homogeneity test. 2. ANOVA test. ANOVA test was conducted to test whether there is a significant effect between the use of smoke full types on the protein content of stingray. And the last, Tukay test. ANOVA test was used to identify which groups would take significant difference from each other. Result and discussion. Smoke freeze processing, this one, raw material received to freeze within cut and cutting process. 3. Fish washing stage. 4. Fish drying stage. And the last, fish smoking. Protein contents of smoked stingray. The result of protein content in smoked stingray using coconut shell obtained an average for 25.70%. Smoking stingray using coconut fiber obtained an average for 30.53%, while smoking stingray using a combination of shell and coconut fibers obtained an average or 35%. The result of the protein content of smoked stingray are contained the following data. It is known that the protein content in smoked stingray are 3 repetition using the type of full combination between shell and coconut fiber, and coconut fiber full is more than using the type full coconut shell. Classical assumption test. This one, data normality test. The sig value normality test on the use of protein levels and full types obtained sig greater than 0.05, indicating the use of protein levels and full types normality distributed on H0 is achieved. Variant homogeneity test. The homogeneity test for variance test obtained the sig value base greater than 0.05, which indicates that the data variant is homogeneous or H0 is achieved. ANOVA test, the value of sig smaller than 0.05 in the ANOVA test, which indicates there is a significant influence between the use of full types on the protein content of stingray. And the last, Tukay test, based on the decision-making criteria in the Tukay test, the use of coconut shell, smoke, and coconut fiber full treatment group result in sig greater than 0.05, indicating there was a significant difference between the treatment group of shell and coconut fiber full types on protein content. In addition, the use of wool between the coconut shell group and the combination of coconut shell and coconut fiber also result in sig than 0.05. Thank you.
Miss Anissa Suci Ramadhani, are you join with us now? Miss Anissa?
Yes, I am.
Okay, Miss Anissa, you can prepare your presentation and you have 7 minutes to present it your PPT from now. You can share your PPT now. Your time until 30:47. sampai 13.47 ya, Mbak?
Oke. Apa, Pak? Kalau masih Pak.
Iki ngelek sih dulu. Itu ini. Good afternoon, everyone. Let me introducing myself. Is Anissa Suci Ramadhani from Fishery Resort Multi Shelter Study Program Pancasakti University. Thank you for the opportunity given to speaking international seminar of this session. I will discuss assessment of environmental sharing level and the competition of the case of persistent-based training at Tegal Sari Line. Table of contact. 1. Introducing to problem statement. 3. Hypothesis. 4. Research methods. 5. Result and analysis. 6. Conclusion. Introducing. Tegal City is one of the fisheries in the Central Java. Fishing activity are central in Tegal Barat sub-district, extending in Tegal Sari Village. Around 58% of the population has a profession in fishermen. In this village, there is also one TPI that play an important role in fishing activity, namely is TPI Pelawan. The dominant fishing gear out in Tegal Harbor TPI is percent. Resort flow, Series 1, Series 2, human resource, 3, sustainability. Problem. This one overfishing only result that's not balanced with preferring and maintaining the sustainability of the ecosystem. 2. Use of fishery gear set is not environmentally friendly. There was facing gear it's not environmentally friendly can cause damage of the lip. 3. Legal deficit. Governmental regulation governing the field of fishing gear. Hypothesis. Based on the formality of the problem, the hypothesis problem is this: percent fish gear is not environmentally friendly fish gear. Percent fish gear is environmentally friendly fish gear. Research objective. The research objective are to determine the level of environmentally friendly of fishing gear percent at Tegal Sari Harbor TPI Tegal City. Literature review according out Asni et al. Based on 9 environmentally friendly criteria. The average value of environmentally friendly fishing gear in 29 and so the percent fishing gear is very environmentally friendly fishing gear. According to Cynthia et al. 2020, based on 9 criteria of environmentally friendly fishing gear and that has a wind value of 1 in 4. Get a phone score on 23. 28, which indicates the person visiting here in Madura, Sumeneb in classified as very environmentally friendly as visiting here. According to Dani et al., the status of the level environmentally friendly of the small register reflected at PWI Tanjung Balai Asahan based on the value scoring by respondent in the very environmentally friendly course with a score of 28.10. Suffering method as an very rising procedure. Two, possessive sampling. Sampling is which the result international which in the individual group of unit of research based on criterion listing relevant to realized objects. 3. Determine the number of respondent population. Sample is scoring at Umar 24 to 16 respondent. Data analysis calculation one calculation can composition the composition of the percentage was from to be more than a species, so cost number so single bakery tembang fish tuna lemuru and the total weight of the total cats in July and September was 20. To analyze cat selectivities and different into three categories of main cats, bycat, and discard. The main cats are cats marked cat, tuna, and the last cat, switch cat. Analyze the level of 3. The result of questionnaire research using description method based on the 9. CCRV Secondable Friendly Fresh Care with second 1 and 4 the respondent answer in the following according to the situation in the file. Research reason based on the result the mass size of percent stranger at TPI Tegalsari is 1 inch, but there are some geocodes 3 word in mass size. Analysis is the environmental friendly for the passenger. There are various types of marine animal protected by governmental that are still for the egg. Special hours based on the competition by composition of bycatch has a very small variation compared to the main cat, so it can because the percent cat more than fish. Conclusion based on the result, percent passenger at Galsari Port is very environmentally friendly. Fish get in accordance with code of conduct of responsibility fishing criteria with total score of 29.2, very environmentally friendly. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Anissa Suci Ramadhani, for your presentation. And then the fourth presenter is Mrs. Widyanita Harwijayanti from Universitas Tunas Pembangunan Surakarta with the title Effect of Sintering Process on Titanium Hydroxyapatite Composite by Powder Metallurgy Review. Mrs. Widya, are you there?
Yes, yes, Miss
Yeah.
Mobi.
The time is yours in 7 minutes, so you can present it until 13:57.
Okay. Miss Mobi, can
Yeah?
you see my
Yeah.
script?
It's okay now.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see your presentation.
Okay. It Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the moderator for the time given to me. In this opportunity, I will present a paper review about the effect of sintering process on titanium hydroxyapatite composite by a powder metallurgy. Titanium, widely used as an implant material because it has low density, excellent mechanical properties, and also resistant of corrosion. But for a long-term use, titanium as an implant, which is a metal material, have a problem due to the stress shielding and causing inflammation in human body. So it is necessary to add some new material which has a good bioactivity properties. And one of the material is hydroxyapatite. Hydroxyapatite is a ceramic material which has similar structure with human bone and have a CAP ratio, calcium phosphor ratio, similar with human bone, that is 1.67. To combine two different material, there is a technology called as powder metallurgy. Powder metallurgy is a methodology how to combining powder and additive or binder, mixing to get the homogenization of the particles. Process then due by pressing in a certain pressure to make a green specimen. After that, the green specimen was sintering in a furnace at certain temperature to get a final product that called as brown specimen. So there are in this powder metallurgy process, there is a sintering process, and in sintering process, there are several parameters that will affect the final product of our specimen, such as sintering temperature, holding time, and environmental atmospheric condition. And for the literature, there are in previous studies, several authors have already produced titanium hydroxyapatite composite by powder metallurgy. And there are various temperature, various holding time, and environmental condition. The temperature used is under the melting point, either titanium or hydroxyapatite, which is hydroxyapatite has melting point about 1496 degrees Celsius, and titanium is melting point of titanium is 1678 degrees Celsius. And the various holding time and environment condition, such as in a furnace, such as air condition, argon condition, nitrogen, or oxygen. During sintering process, there is a reaction between titanium and hydroxyapatite, and it is produced a new compound, new substance or element, such as titanium dioxide, hydrogen, and then the condensation of the water because the effect of the mixing process, and then titanium phosphate, calcium phosphate, or calcium titanium dioxide. So the reaction between titanium and hydroxyapatite during sintering was confirmed by doing the HRD characterization. HRD, or we known as X-ray diffraction, is to confirm the crystal structure of the material. In this PowerPoint, I present the result of the specimen after sintering at 1400 degrees Celsius in air condition. And there is several substance found by the peak density, and it's confirmed by the GCPDS card number, and it's different card number for titanium and hydroxyapatite, and there is several compounds such as titanium dioxide, hydroxyapatite, calcium oxide, and calcium titanium dioxide. And also this is TCP, or we call as tricalcium phosphate. Tricalcium phosphate is the decomposition. Tricalcium phosphate was arise due to the decomposition of hydroxyapatite because hydroxyapatite was decomposed at temperature around 1,200 degrees Celsius. So HAP or hydroxyapatite has a fast change to TCP3 calcium phosphate. And to confirm the element after we use several atmosphere conditions, there is a EDX analysis or energy dispersive X-ray. And this is the result of the titanium hydroxyapatite composite after sintering at 1,000 degrees Celsius. And it is found that there is a high amount of titanium, calcium, phosphate, and oxygen due to the atmosphere condition because we can find oxygen in atmosphere condition in a high percentage. And also we can confirm the morphology specimen surface by the scanning electron microscopy to make sure the morphology after sintering process. And this is the specimen after sintering at 1,100 degrees Celsius with 2-hour holding time. And there is a porosity and agglomeration. Agglomeration happen due to the particle during sintering. One and each particle have binding, and it leaves their first place and it causes a porosity. So porosity and agglomeration, it happen in the surface morphology due to the holding time that researcher use to produce titanium hydroxyapatite composite. So to gain our final product, there are several parameters that can give effect for our our final product, such as sintering temperature, holding time, and environment condition. Holding time affect the surface morphology, and then sintering temperature affect the phase change due to the hydroxyapatite decomposition, and environmental atmosphere give effect for the new element that can confirm by the ADX analysis and our final product. So that is the end of my presentation. Thank you for the time given to me. Good afternoon.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Widyanita, for your presentation. So we have done for the round 1 with 4 presenter with Miss Siti Nurul Fadila, Miss Aura Gisma Amisha, Miss Anissa Suci Ramadhani, and Miss Widyanita Harwijayanti. The next session is we come to the Q&A session for about 50 minutes. I open this opportunity for question for asker, yeah. So you can directly click the virtual raise hand or write on the chat box for the for previous presenter. So is there any question? You can raise your hands or write on the chat box. For our participant, is there any question for the previous speaker? Okay, I think it's clear enough, or maybe the participant was psyched or there's no asker for the all speaker, yeah, fourth speaker, the previous speaker in the round 1. Okay, I will count from 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. If there's no question, I would like to continue the second round. The second round with the participant as the presenter. There are Miss Siti Samsia, are you there? Miss Siti Samsia for the first presenter in the second round, and then Mr. Miswari for the second presenter, and then Miss Karina, the third presenter, and then the fourth presenter is Mr. Sofik. So we come to the first presenter, Miss Siti Samsia. Hello, are you there? Your voice is not connected with us now.
Hello?
Yeah. Can you raise your volume?
Oh. Hello? Can you?
Yeah. It's better. Okay, Miss Siti Samsias from Institut Teknologi 10 November ITS with the title is Effect of Airflow Rate on the Extraction of White Paper Ningrum Essential Oil using the microwave air hydrolyzation method. 7 minutes for your time, Miss Siti Samsia.
Okay, Miss. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity. My city Samsia, and I will present the title Effect of Airflow Rate on the Extraction of White Paper Nigrum L Essential Oil using the microwave air hydrolyzation method. Introduction. Indonesia is a tropical country that has biodiversity such as plants that can produce essential oil and become export commodity are around 15 types. One of them is the paper plant. The essential oil of white paper has various benefits as an antimicrobial, antioxidant, aromatherapy, and natural food preservative. Okay, introduction. The extraction of essential oils in general carried out using traditional methods such as macerasi, percolasi, reflux, and socklets. However, these methods suboptimal yield, high energy, long time, and large solvent requirement. Therefore, modern extraction have been developed, one of which is microwave assisted hydrodistillation because green process, high yield, efficient process, low solvent requirement. For essential oil found in plant seeds, diffusion can sometimes be difficult. Therefore, a modification of microwave assisted hydrodistillation has been introduced by adding an airflow from a compressor known as the microwave air hydrodistillation method. This modification aims to increase yield of essential oil. Microwave air hydrodistillation method of the three main parts, namely a compressor that functions to inject air into the distiller contain the matrix, a microwave as a heater, and a condenser as cooling system. Research material and equipment, white paper, distilled water, microwave, apparatus Clevenger, compressor. Research method. Step 1. Preparation of material. White paper is ground using a blend and sieve with an 8D sieve. Step 2. Essential oil extraction process. Put 100 grams of fine white paper into the distillation flask and add 500 milliliter of distilled water, then put in the microwave, then assemble the Clevenger apparatus and flow air into the distillation flask. The microwave air hydrodistillation method was operated at 450 watt power for 180 minutes with varying airflow rate of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 liters per minute. Step 3, characteristic of essential oil is calculate yields, color, density, acid number, and solubility in 95% ethanol. Result and discussion. The effect of extraction time on the yield of essential oil by varying the extraction time from 0 to 180 minutes with an interval of 20 minutes at 5 variation of airflow, obtain the yield of essential oil increase significant in the early stage of extraction time and stabilize at 40 to 180 minutes. However, for an airflow rate of 1 liter per minute, the yield of essential oil increase with the length of extraction time. The high yield was 2.6611% week per week at 180 minutes. Figure 2, effect of airflow rate on the yield of white paper essential oil. The higher the airflow rate, the lower the yield of white paper essential oil. This result is due to the higher airflow, which play a role in increase the rate of evaporation of essential oil from material and solvent. However, this causes the essential oil to not be perfectly condensed, so that some of the essential oil are released into the air. The high yield 2.6611% week per week at an airflow rate of 1 liter per minute. Result of analysis of the characteristic of white paper essential oil is color blue, density 0.8814 gram per milliliter, solubility 1 milliliter essential oil in 4 to 5 milliliter, 95% ethanol, and acid number 1.2731 milligram kalium hydroxide per gram. Conclusion, it can be that the airflow rate of 1 liter per minute for 180 minutes is the best operating condition to produce white paper essential oil steel using the microwave air hydrodistillation method. This method can be used to extract essential oil from various aromatic plant seeds to increase the yield of essential in a short time with high quality. Thank you. For apologies.
Okay, thank you, Miss Siti Samsia, for your presentation. The second presenter is Mr. Miswari from Poltek AUP Jakarta with the title Effectiveness of Capture Fisheries Management based on Multidimensional Scaling, MDS, in the water of Kendari, Southeast Sulawesi. Mr. Miswari, are you ready?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
7 minutes for your
Okay.
time.
Thank you for opportunity. I will present my presentation. Okay, let's share my PowerPoint. Okay, thank you for your opportunity. Good afternoon, everyone. And I will present my research. My team 3. Hermawan Gatot Priyadi, Heru Kurniawan Alamsah, and I am Muhammad Nur Miswari. I take this paper about effectiveness of capture fisheries management using multidimensional scaling for MDS analysis in Kendari waters, Southeast Sulawesi. The sustainable management of capture fisheries in Southeast Sulawesi, particularly in Kendari's water, has become increasingly challenging due to overfishing, environmental degradation, and adequate management strategies. The issues arise from insufficient integration of ecological, economic, and social dimension in existing fisheries management practice, which limit the potential for effective and holistic governance. Well, previous study have advanced the understanding of sustainable in fisheries. They have focused mainly on specific ecological or technological aspect of fisheries management. Despite the significant contribution of the studies, there is a research gap regarding the application of MPS, management of capture fisheries in Kendari. My method for this research use multidimensional scaling approach with the RAFIS. RAFIS is Rate Appraisal for Fisheries Software. The dimensions use the sustainable aspect like environmental, economic, technological, social, and institutional. Scoring is carried out by reviewing the annual report of the Department of Welfare and Fisheries of the city with index 0 to 100 from not sustainable to sustainable. This is made as sustainable analysis index interval. From ecological dimension, we can look at based on the fish ordination diagram, the ecological sustainable of capture fisheries. Sustainable of capture fisheries management in the water of Kendari is positioned at a moderate level with a score 55.12. Then the attribute use of illegal fishing gear has the highest leverage with a value of 2.86. This indicates that the use of illegal fishing gear has the most significant impact on the sustainability states of fisheries in Kendari. In economic dimension, we can look at the sustainability of capture fisheries management in the water of Kendari is positioned at a moderate level with score of 56.77. And then the attribute number of fishermen and average fishermen have the highest leverage with value of 2.17 and 2.57. This indicates that this attribute significantly influence the sustainability status of fisheries in Kendari. At social dimension, we can look that based on the RAFIS ordination diagram for the social dimension, the sustainability of capture fisheries management in the water of Kendari is positioned at a moderate level with a score of 69.31. And the result from the card is evident that government oversight has the highest leverage with a value of 40.25, indicating that it's playing the most significant role in determining the social sustainability of fisheries management. Then about technology and infrastructure dimension from diagram RAFIS ordinary technology and infrastructure dimension, we can see that the sustainability of capture fisheries management in the water of Kendari is positioned at a moderate level with a score of 53.76. And that from the chart in the right hand, we can see that it's clear that the attribute processing of fishery product has the highest leverage with a value of 60.81. That indicating this attribute has the most significant impact on the sustainability of fisheries management. In institutional dimension, based on the RAFIS ordination diagram from the institutional dimension, the sustainability of capture fisheries management in the water of Kendari has a moderate score. The moderate score of 58.08. Then from the chart is clear that the attribute action again illegal fishing has the highest leverage, a value of 4.48. From this, we can look that this indicating that this factor has most significant influence of improving the sustainability of fisheries management. Okay, then in conclusion, the finding that while the fisheries management system is progressing, there are several areas for improvement across ecological, economic, social, technological, and institutional dimension. In the ecological dimension, the management system showed moderate sustainability, with key challenges such as the use of illegal fishing gear and habitat degradation, effective fish stock and ecosystem. Then the economic dimension also showed moderate sustainability. In the social dimension, we feel relatively strong sustainability with effective government oversight and community involvement playing key roles. And the end, in the technology and infrastructure dimension, the study highlight the need for improved fishing technology, master handling, and government support to enhance sustainability. The institutional dimension show that better governance and regulation enforcement are essential. Okay, this is my presentation about my research. Thank you. Okay, it's time for MC.
For your presentation. Thank you so much for your time. And then the next presenter is Miss Karina Farhadina from Universitas Pancasakti Tegal with the title High Dose Vitamin C for the Growth of Nil Tilapia Fish, Oreochromis niloticus. Miss Karina, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Okay, can you hear my voice, Miss?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Miss Karina,
Okay.
you can continue your presentation.
Okay, thank you. I'm so sorry I'm off camera because my signal is very bad. Thank you for your time. Allow me to present the research finding along with my colleague. The title is High Dose Vitamin C for the Growth of Nile Tilapia Fish or Oreochromis niloticus in the Faculty of Fisheries and Marine Science, Pancasakti University, Tegal. Next. Next, Miss.
Did we have a technical mislead? Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, you can continue.
Okay, thank you. Introduction, tilapia or Oreochromis niloticus is one of the leading commodities in Indonesia that has the potential for growth to support food security and national economic security and improve people's welfare. The feed mixture can use various natural ingredients, one of which is vitamin C. Providing vitamin C is very important for fish because it can produce optimal growth, good feed efficiency, and help the physiological function of organs. The problem formulation in number 1 is, what is the best dose of vitamin C in increasing the growth rate of tilapia? And the number 2, what is the effectiveness of vitamin C in increasing the growth rate of tilapia? Okay, next. Yeah, this is a problem approach. This research will be 3 of the problem approach. The number one is the input, process, and output. The input is feeding vitamin C in a different feed doses K, 0 milligram milligram per liter, 350 milligram per liter, 450 milligram per liter, and 550.
Miss Karina? Hello, Miss Karina?
Hello, yes,
Yeah, you can.
yeah, why?
Okay, sorry. Okay. Okay, Miss Karina, you can continue your presentation.
Okay, next slide, Miss. Okay, in the next slide is research of objective. The study aims to number one is knowing the best dose of vitamin C with different doses on the growth rates of tilapia. And then number two, knowing the effectiveness of adding dose with vitamin C with a different dose to the survival of tilapia. Next. Okay, this is a location. The figure 2, the research location. The research location was conducted on the Freshwater Hatchery Center of SUPM Lebak Siu Tegal. Next. Yeah, this is research tools and material in table 1 or table 2. The table 1 is the tool of power of hydrogen, dissolved oxygen, thermometer, Erlenmeyer, aquarium, buckets, digital scales, aerosol, rules, ammonia tester, and siphon tools. The usability in the red in here, they measure dissolved oxygen levels in water. The power of hydrogen meter, the usability is measure acid-base level in water. The thermometer usability is measure temperature in water. And Erlenmeyer 1 liter. The usability is media dissolved vitamin C, and aquarium research media and the other. And the table 2, the materials of research. The material number 1 is a water. The water usability, the place where fish live, because fish live in the water. And number 2, tilapia fish, the range of 5 until 7 centimeter, and the 100 till. Usability as material of research, the object of force, the material research. And number 3 is vitamin C, the maximal C 500. Usability is mixed ingredient in feed. And number 4 is a feed PF 1000. The usability is energy producer for fish growth. Next. Yeah, this is a research method in the descriptive treatment, and we will be for the treatment. The number 1 is addition of vitamin C, dose of 350 gram per liter treatment. And the number 2, addition of vitamin C, the dose is 450 gram per liter treatment. Number 3 is addition of vitamin C, the dose of 550 gram per liter. And number 4 is commercial feed. The research is categorized as experimental research by testing fish feed supplement with vitamin C to determine its effect on growth rates. weight conversion and survival rates of tilapia. The design used in the study is a completely random design consisting of 3 treatment and a control with 3 recirculation research. And below for your see in the below is image of the completely random design used in this study. Next. Okay, this is a result of procedure. Effect of vitamin C supplementation. Vitamin C supplementation, the sterilization of tools and material, and two step. And step 1 is fast stocking and research treatment and sampling. The step 2, water quality parameter as temperature, dissolved oxygen, ammonia, power of hydrogen. The sampling and water of quality, data analysis, and final of conclusion. Next. Yes, number 4 is formula in the formula in my research. And number 1, absolute weight growth. Weight growth is a measure of length over the period of time. The formula is final weight minus in the initial weight. The number 2 is absolute length growth. Length growth is a measure of length over a period of time. The formula is the final legs minus the initial leg. And the number 3, a relative growth rate, SGR. Learn final weight in initial weight per 100%. In the weight conversion ratio, as the name is FCR, and the feed per grow weight final plus dosis minus weight initial and 100%. The survival rate, the name is SR. Next. Okay, this is a result and discussion. The result is discussion based on the result of statistical analysis in the study of giving vitamin C with different doses is feeding tilapia fish. Oreochromis niloticus obtained very significant and best result in the treatment. In the number C, yes, in the below for the picture, in the number C. Treatment C is for 555 milligram per liter with an average of 8.5 grams. And this is thought to be because vitamin C can be used by the body to help metabolism, so that the consume can be used for growth. Next. In the relative growth rates, the base of the results of statistical analysis of the base treatment for the daily growth rates of tilapia seed in the picture, the treatment of vitamin C is feeding with a different dose, so that is the highest average daily growth weight of tilapia was shown in treatment C. 555 milligram per kilogram with an average of 0.283. And yes, next. The absolute growth in the daily length of the rate of tilapia seed, the treatment of vitamin C in feeding with different dose, so that the highest average daily growth weight in tilapia was shown in treatment C. and the vitamin C and the 3.9 is very high because others. Next. And the survival rates during the study, this was noted in tilapia cultivation in age treatment until the 4th week. This is thought to be because the feed and additional dose of vitamin C give meet the need for the life of tilapia seed to reach SSR 100%. And the control and the treatment A, B, C, and the survival rate is 100%. The SR option by treatment B, 18 of vitamin C, and with the value of 80 100%. Next. Okay, the conclusion is number 1, treatment C 550 milligram per liter is the best treatment on absolute weight growth, and 8.5 gram followed by B 450 milligram per liter with a lack of 7 gram, and A 350 milligram per liter, and the weight growth is 6.4 gram, and the cancer is 0 milligram per liter, and the 5.0. And the number 2, the best daily growth rate of the treatment C with an average of 0.27, B average 0.21, A 0.18, and 0.15 control. FGR treatment C 550 milligram per liter 1.2, followed by B 4050 milligram per liter 1.4, A 3050 milligram per liter 1.6, and then control or K 0 milligram per liter. Feed effective phases of EP was highest in the treatment vitamin C 0.83, B 0.69, 0.48, and A 0.47 and 0.48. Survival rate during treatment was 100%. Next. Okay, this picture is documentation of research activities. In the number 1 is the fees of number 1 in the fees of weight measurement. I'm sorry, this is a mistake for the word. Yes, and the number 1 is point A, the fees weight for measure. And the number B, number B is feet weighting. And the point C in the fish leg measurement. Next. Okay, the advice is based on the result of the study. It is recommended that tilapia farm use an additional dose of vitamin C in artificial feed at a dose of 450 milligram per liter to increase growth, feed utilization, and survival of tilapia. Thank you for your attention. And MC. Moderate. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Karina, for your presentation. We still have two presenters. The next presenter is Mr. Saufik Lutfianto from Universitas Pancasakti Tegal with the title Multi-Response Optimization of a 1 kilogram mass artifact and gravimetry as a control process in legal metrology mass laboratories using the Taguchi method and response surface methodology. Mr. Saufik, are you there?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly. You can start
Yes.
your PPT
Thank you
now
very much.
and
Okay.
present in 7 minutes. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Okay. Okay. I want to introduce myself. My name is Saufik Lutfianto from Industrial Engineering Department, Universitas Pancasakti Tegal, Indonesia. Okay. The slide can see Miss Mobinta.
Yeah. It's clear.
Okay.
You can continue your presentation.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, I will present the result of my result. The result is mostly response optimization of 1 kilogram mass artifact and gravimeter 3 as control process in legal metrology mass laboratory using the Taguchi method and response surface methodology. Okay. The artifact are instrument reference standards or object agreed upon at the international level. The outline, this section is the outline that will be presented, namely introduction, method, result, discussion, and conclusion. There are two issues, namely data the Minister of Trade and common issue in laboratories. And the primary issue is knowledge regarding the ideal variation of control variables. Therefore, the necessary step include identifying all factor influencing quality characteristic and determining the appropriate factor level to minimize variance. The methods, the research began with Taguchi experiment using Minitab. The data was then analyzed using the response surface methodology to determine how the discussion variable relate the objective function and the function is optimized. This research was conducted in the Mass Laboratory of UPTD Metrology Lejal, Kota Tegal. The material used as research object include 1 kilogram artifact made of stainless steel with a density of 7.9 as on as the figure 1 artifact 1 kilogram and figure 2 artifact gravimetry 5 millimeter. Okay. This is a step, and there are four step preparation of the material experiment, and then Taguchi experiment using Minitab, and step 3 response surface methodology, and step 4 is optimal solution. The result and discussion. Table 1 is control factors. They are in the design experiment, the design of experiment, independent variables that can control are referred to as control factors, while dependent variables that result from the reaction to independent variables are called response. This is table 2 response factor. The selection of control factor are response in this experiment on table 1 and table 2. Table 3 table 3. Table 3 is orthogonal array. Orthogonal array is a combination of number arranged in row and columns, where columns serve as parameter in the control experiment. The control experiment, while row represent variation or factor level. One of the requirements for selecting an orthogonal array, yes, an orthogonal array matrix. This is table 3 is orthogonal array matrix. Is that the number of experimentals value must be equal to greater than the degrees of freedom in the study. This is the result. The result, Taguchi experiment result with artifact testing. The represented table 4 represent the result of the experiment utilizing the Taguchi method with an LH24 orthogonal array designed to optimize the variable artifact and gravimetry based on 4 key factors: temperature, exit temperature level 1 60 degrees and 80 degrees level 2, and time is 50 minutes and 30 minutes level 1 and level 2, and lighting intensity 50% and 100%. The number of people in the room, 1 or 2 persons. The Taguchi method is employed to identify the optimal combination or factor while minimizing the number of experimental runs compared to a factorial design. Okay. This is ANOVA 1 kilogram artifact, and ANOVA, the result ANOVA for gravimetric. Based on ANOVA result, you can see for the 1 kilogram artifact experimental, each factor on the F value, compare the F table, compare the F table value to determine its significance. Okay. Of analysis value 1.1, p value is 1.3. There's no significant loss, meaning the models adequately explain to observe variability, the need for additional interaction, the conclusion of the two ANOVA. You can see AC temperature is the most influential factor, followed by lightening and number of people, while time has no significant effect. Estimation efforts of priorities AC temperature and lighting to achieve the desired gravimetric response. And this is regression equation in encoded unit, regression equation artifact, and regression equation. The equation represent the relationship between the artifact response. And the independent variables like AC temperature and time lighting, and number of people. Okay. This is the result of contour plot and surface plot from artifact 1 kilogram and gravimetric. The feature one, the contour plot artifact time and AC temperature represent contour and surface plot this. That's plot illustrated the relationship between artifacts. Welding lighting at 75% and the number of people at one people's constant. The surface plot, this is surface plot picture. This is surface plot picture. The surface plot picture provide a three-dimensional perspective of the same relationship, reinforcing the trend observed the contour plot. The plan in the 3D graphs exhibits an upward slope, confirming that higher temperatures and longer duration result in higher artifact values. The relatively linear shape of the surface suggests a predictable and direct correlation between the parameters. It's same with the gravimetric method. And the next result, the desirability. This is desirability, optimal desirability, optimization analysis with composite desirability value of 0.8695, indicating the overall effectiveness of the select factor of the selective factor setting in achieving the desired response for gravimetric and artifact value. For the gravimetric response, from the gravimetric response, the minimum predicted value is Y is 0.1627 with the desirability value of D 0.89. The desirability value for both being close to 1 suggests that the selected condition effectively optimize the system. Okay. And the next solution, one optimize optimal solution. The optimal solution, this picture represent an optimal solution for multiple variable unspecific condition. It includes input variable such as AC temperature 16 degrees, time like 15 minutes, lighting takes 15%, and people 1. And the solution optimal, and the solution optimal serve an optimal operating condition recommendation. This solution serves an optimal operation condition recommendation ensuring that both gravimetric and artifact response are within the desired range with maximizing overall system performance. This is the solution.
I'm sorry,
of
Mr.
the solution.
Taufik. Yeah,
Yes.
1 minute more.
Okay. The conclusion, okay, this study successfully optimized laboratory environmental parameters to improve the quality of 1 kilogram artifact, testing using Taguchi method and response surface methodology. And the optimized result indicate that the best combination for laboratory condition include an assay temperature of 16 degrees Celsius and actualization duration of 15 minutes and lighting intensity of 50% and 2 operator in the laboratory. Thank you very much and nice to meet you all.
Okay.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Mr. Taufik, for your presentation. And the last presenter is Marisa Haq.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
7 minutes for Miss Marisa Haq, please.
wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I'm Marisa Haq from the 11 Maret University. Thank you in advance for your time and opportunity. Okay, I will present the result of my research with the title relationship between rod the mag and physical exhaust gas emission. There are several things that underlie this research, namely research background. The research I conducted was about the relationship between rod the mag and physical exhaust emission. Rod the mag is caused by various factors such as high traffic loads, extreme weather condition, and lack of road maintenance. The problem in this research is that rod the mag not only impact the comfort and safety of road user, but can also enrich physical exhaust emission and also physical travel time. If rod the mag occurs on road, physical speed will slow down and physical exhaust emission will increase. Set on research for road condition can increase a full consumption by 10% or more, which directly contributes to increased physical exhaust emission, including greenhouse gas in the form of CO2, CH4, and O2. This research was conducted on Jalan Kendal. Next, the formulation of the problem in this research is follows. Number one, what type of rod the mag occurs on the Kendal highway section set on the pavement connection index method. How does rod the mag affect the speed of vehicle using the Kendal is high. Number 3, how does physical speed affect carbon dioxide and nitrogen dioxide? Okay, next, research purposes. The aim of the research is number 1, identify the type of road damage. Number 2, seeing the effect of road damage. Number 3, looking at the relationship. Okay, the next. There are several types of road damage, including alligator cracking, bleeding, block cracking, and the next. The MAC assessment PCI. This is one of the steps in calculation road damage using the pavement conduction index. Okay, next, there are some theory related to the relationship between road damage and greenhouse gas emission. The next, the research method used are pavement conduction index and life cycle assessment. Pavement conduction index is used to measure the type and level of road damage, while life cycle assessment is used to measure greenhouse gas emission value. The next, research result and findings. PCA recapitulation result for the Kendal National Road section. The recapitulation result of the average pavement conduction index for the Kendal National Road were 33.82 set on the road damage assessment using the pavement conduction index method on a scale of 1 to 100. Road damage is categorized as a very poor. Meanwhile, the tip of the MAC level is the high level of the MAC because in the PCA method it said that the lower the PCA value, the worse the road damage. Okay, next. Influence between road damage values with speed, motor vehicle physical speed, the speed of vesicles, the speed of half vesicle. The relationship between road damage and speed shows a figure of at least 0 point, which means it shows a fairly weak relationship between the two variables. Okay, next, influence between speed with emission. The relationship between speed and emission on highways based on calculation shows a very strong relationship between the two variables. Okay, the next research conclusion, number 1, the recapitulation result of the average pavement conduction index for the Kendal National Road were 33.82. Road damage is categorized as very poor. Meanwhile, the type of the MAC level is the high level of the Mach. Number 2, rod the Mach affect physical speed, especially there is a negative correlation for motorbikes, namely mean 0.2750 or 08. Number 3, physical speed affect exhaust emission. Speed has a negative correlation with CO2 gas emission of minus 0.5231 809 and O2 of mean 0.5022 638. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for Miss Marisa Haq for your presentation. And now we come to the Q&A session for about 15 minutes. And I open this opportunity for 4 questions. So if you have a question, you can directly click the virtual raise hand or write on the chat box. So for the participant from this room 1, is there any question for the 5 presenters before? Is there any question? I will count from 5, maybe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, if there's no question, maybe we will continue with the closing time for this room, for this presentation room. We have 2 rounds for this room. So ladies and gentlemen, finally we come to the end part of our parallel session. We would like to say thank you to our 9 presenters for the great presentation. We also thank to the conference participant for your attention. And hopefully the presentation will give us more insight and inspiration for the sustainable human life. Please accept our gratitude and appreciation for the great presentation. Thank you. And I hope you can join with the main room session to get. Oh, okay. Sorry, before we goes to the main session, can you open the camera because the admin would like to take a picture for us. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Udah. Okay, I count from 3. 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay. Okay, it's done. Okay. Thank you so much for your appreciation, for your participation. So I hope you can join for with the all participant in the main room. Thank you for your participation. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon all. Happy and healthy always. Bye.
Thank you.